Greetings, gentlemen. So, recently, that Marriott situation where the old man goes out, old black man goes out, he gets right square in the face of this kid. Now, most people are big up in him. I can tell you the truth, though. Most people haven't seen the first video. This is OTR Ogre and Corgi. Like, link, and subscribe. It's just my thoughts. Let's get into it. So, apparently, there was an issue at this Marriott. Kid and I don't know, girlfriend or sister went to visit their dad at this Marriott, and the dad was high as fuck on drugs, and dad was destroying the room. And so they went down. They're like, "Hey man, you guys need to call the cops on my dad, but I just tell the cops not to rough him up too bad because nobody wants to see their family get shot." Now, at some point, the receptionist is having a bad attitude, according to what the story is. And then, the old man shows up and he starts, puffing his chest, doing the big alpha bro, I'm a tough guy shit. And he's like, basically, he's not having any of this. He's old, he's an OG, let's be real about it. He's from the age of, might makes right, violence and shit. I mean, he's probably born back in the, 50s or 60s. Basically, he's a retired military veteran with 20 years. So, that actually explains a lot of what you see the dude doing in the video. Okay, so people are like, well, what's the relevance of this? Well, because you could see, if you go out, look for it. The video's on daily dot something or other, where you watch the first video, and what you see clearly is this is not like some violent, these kids are kicking the shit out of the building and crap. No, when eventually the kids do leave after the old man plays Captain Tough Guy, the young man slams the door. So legitimately, he did slam the door. But at that point, where the old man loses any legitimacy is when he goes out and pursues this young man to square up right in his face. Because he feels he's been disrespected, and maybe he has. But him being respected is not what he's paid to do in that Marriott hotel. He's paid to manage the place or do some work around there. It's not his job to play Captain Tough Guy with that kid out in the front area. So he's out there squaring up to that kid. And he's doing the police tactic. And anybody's ever seen this, it's where police will close the gap and get right in your face. Military people do this too. So it wouldn't surprise me if this guy, former military, had done this in the military. And in this case, he not only sees a kid that is literally, 80 pounds less muscle than him and shorter than him. So in his mind, he's like, I can take this guy. Moreover, there's no consequences for him if he punches the shit out of this kid, because he could just claim that this kid said, oh, he threw the N-bomb and I was pissed. And then the moral mob majority, the majority of people that are so moral would say, oh my God, yeah, that kid got what he deserved for being a racist. So he knows there is no consequences for him beating the ass of this kid. So he squares right up to him, like nose to nose. Like literally, this kid could have headbutt him, or he could have headbutt the kid. That close. Now, if you squared up that close to a police officer, do you think the police would have any indication to tase you, shoot you, beat you? But this old man had no problem doing that with that kid. You got to pay close attention to that. And while he was squared up, he was poking that kid in the chest, which is an instigation tactic to get that boy to swing, so then he can beat the shit out of him. So most of these people out here I see on these comments are big upping this old man, even though they don't know shit. Moreover, now this is where we get into a little, let's change things a bit. What if that young man was black? What if those two kids were black and that old man was white? Do you think all these people out here, this is like, that old movie, A Time to Kill, where the attorney says, now make her white. But really, switch it up. Now make him black and make that old man white. Do you think all these people would be big up in him? No, they'd say this is an old racist white man harassing some black kids. They would actually go out of their way to find the video that I found. It was daily dot something or other. It's right there. You can read through it and you can see the videos as well. You can see the video that everybody's seen, but you go up and you see that video where that kid is left the fucking building and this old man went out to get in his face. Do you think most people would be defending that old man if it was racist reversed? Yeah, this is how easily manipulated people are. And this is part of the reason I look at the world and say, no, the majority of people should have to earn their way to their vote. They should have to show some intelligence. Because left to the fucking people, most people are mobs. All you gotta do is convince the mob, the jury, in fact. In a jury, is it nothing more than convincing people based on feelings and emotions. Evidence can be completely trumped based on feelings and emotions. That's why when they say jury of your peers, ask people from back in the day, especially in the black community, how many times jury of your peers, and people already have a preconceived idea of what they perceive and believe. Therefore, they're more likely to fuck you over because they believe what they're doing is right. Yeah. Most people are not intelligent enough to make a goddamn decision in society. But hey, you want a good proof of that? Watch these people commenting on that video. Anyways, this is OTR Ogre and Corgi. Like, link, and subscribe. And I'm not asking you to think like me, but I'm just asking you to think. Just try it for a change. Try thinking for yourself instead of going with the mob. Anyhow, y'all have a good one.